Okay, John, you ready? Here we go.
Absolutely, positively. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Agents of Change Business Briefing. I'm glad you're here tonight. We are going to give everybody a few minutes to get plugged in, get their audio working. If you can hear my voice, your audio is certainly working. You will also notice that you will not be able to unmute yourself through this evening, but certainly get on. Let us know where you are zooming in from in the chat. And Miss Sonora is monitoring that, and she will keep us up to date on where you're from. I am zooming in from Canton, or near Canton, Ohio. If you're familiar with the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you ever decide to come out here and visit, you need to give me a holler. We'll go grab some dinner and break bread together for sure. Again, we'll give everybody a chance to get logged in here this evening. Welcome to our business briefing. Again, my name is John Fehrenbach. Let us know in the chat where you're zooming in from. And again, I'm zooming in from a small town called Louisville, Ohio, that is right near Canton, Ohio. Spelled exactly how you spell Louisville, Kentucky, if you wanted some little tidbit of trivia. But we say it Louisville, they say it Louisville, except maybe with more of a Kentucky accent. Anyways, welcome to the business briefing tonight. Again, my name is John Fehrenbach. Tonight, we are going to hear from someone who's been in this business for better than 19 years. He certainly knows how to make all the money, and he knows how to have fun making that money. I call him a business partner, I call him a friend, and certainly a mentor. And without further ado, I would like to introduce this evening, Mr. Jim Tanner. Welcome to the briefing this evening.
John, thank you very much. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm excited to be here. And we're going to be talking, let me just, before I get started, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to tell some of my story as I go. I appreciate John Fehrenbach kind of setting that up. I'll share a little bit of my story as I go, but also I want to acknowledge that the reason I'm here talking with you and the reason I'm so excited here today is because I'm going to be directing my commentary today to those of you that are guests that were invited to take a look at this information that I saw over 19 years ago for the first time, and I was floored and stunned by. That's a bold promise to suggest that you're about to see something that you'll be stunned by. But if you stick with me to the end of this, and I'm going to respect your time, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm going to give you great information. And some of you, as I said, you've been invited by one of our associates, folks that have been here with us for a few days or a few weeks, a few months, some a few years, or like me, over a decade. And so whoever that is, I predict that you're going to want to thank them. You're going to be texting them if you're not in the room together. You're going to be hugging them if you are in the room together when this is over a handful of minutes from now. And not only are you going to hear from me, you heard from John Fehrenbach, you're going to hear from one of my business partners that's going to share some of her thoughts on her journey so far. But also in the conclusion of this meeting today, I'm actually going to take a 5-minute break, and then I'm going to talk about how to actually launch the business that you're learning about today. So this is an all-encompassing presentation, and I'm going to do it in very little time. But as you saw on the screen, we're here to talk about your story. So I'll share my story. What I would hope to do today is to help you craft a story, because the world has changed forever. And while I remember years ago thinking about, man, wouldn't it be great if I could work from home? Today, I can work from anywhere because of the technology that's available. And that's what people around the world want. They want the opportunity to earn great income, of course. They want time, flexibility, and freedom, and the independence to call their own shots. And we went through this period of time with COVID and lockdowns and all this uncertainty. As business owners, there was massive uncertainty. As individuals, as students, as teachers, as people interacting in the economy, there was massive uncertainty. And you know what rose up from that uncertainty was people that wanted choices. And then, as you see on the screen, doesn't it make sense to have a backup plan? Some people will say that's a plan B or a plan C. But I know that there's people I'm talking to today, they're looking for a plan A, a new career, a way to go forward in a completely different way. So I'm going to share this information with you. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it, because what I'm going to share with you is a no-brainer. As a matter of fact, when I saw it for the first time 19 years ago, It was a no-brainer for me. I'm going to talk to you about our products in a moment. Those products I saw 10 years prior to that. But the question I want to ask you today is, are you working for the right kind of income? See, when I got started in this business 19 years ago, I didn't know there was different types of income. Some of you, you've already figured this out, but some of you, you're in the same boat I was in. You had no idea. See, I always understood linear income. That's the first bullet point on your screen. That's exactly how I earned money. I used to go to work every morning and I delivered furniture for a living. And I worked that job, and in addition to that job, because I couldn't make ends meet, I also worked another job in a retail store in the mall at night. So 2 jobs plus commuting, that was 80 hours a week of my life. That was linear income. I was trading time for money. I literally punched the clock. Some of you are younger, can't even picture what that is. It was a big machine and you pushed a card into it and you pulled the lever and it made a big sound of punching. That's what we did. And that's linear income. That's trading time for money. That's earning income for the hour you worked. And that's the way most people are introduced to the economy, honestly, whether that's in years past or even today. And that's what we do, right? We work an hour, we get paid for the hour. But there's other types of income. And I didn't know this until I knew it. And isn't it interesting that once the mind is expanded, it can't go back. So let me expand your mind. And some of you, you already know this, but for others, this is going to be new information. There's 2 other forms of income. There's leveraged income, where you can work collaboratively with a professional team of people, and you can have leverage. You can work with a team, you can create more income, you can disconnect time from money. It's literally the opposite of linear income. Because now what you're doing is, instead of working an hour and getting paid for an hour, you are creating an environment where you're getting paid for dozens of hours, sometimes hundreds of hours. As a matter of fact, I work with people that get paid for thousands of hours every hour. So if you stick with me, I'm going to show you how that works. And then there's the 3rd form of income called residual income. That's when you are creating a legacy income for yourself in the future, and then for generations of your family in the future beyond your future personally. See, there's going to come a time when you and I are no longer here. The question is, are you building something that will last while you're here, or are you building something that will last in those days, years, and generations after? I'm going to share that with you today as well. And I want you to know that I understand that those of you that are here, you were invited here, you probably said yes to the invitation because you are searching. You're keeping your options open and you're on the lookout. And I just want to acknowledge that for anybody here that's on the lookout, that you're looking, you're searching, what you're searching for has to fill these 5 areas. If I help you with nothing else, let me help you with this. First of all, you have to have a great company. And while a startup company or a ground floor opportunity sounds exciting, the truth is that most startups never start up. Most ground floor opportunities never get off the ground. You have to have a great need in the marketplace. You can't just create an answer to a problem that doesn't exist. Because while that might feel good, it doesn't actually translate into the marketplace. And you've seen that kind of a thing, whether it's on late night television or marketing you get over social media or email. You understand that these are companies solving a problem that's not really a problem in the market. So you have to have a product that speaks to people, that answers their problems, that answers their questions, that helps them with their real lives that they're living. It also has to be priced within reach of the people that it's supposed to be a solution for. And what about compensation? You have to have compensation that's not only fair, not only just, but allows you to create wealth. And I'm going to share that with you today. And you also have to have timing. And they always say that the T of timing is far more important than the T of talent. I'm telling you, with my background, you would have never suggested that I could have succeeded in anything. But because I've been positioned in the timing, which I'm going to share with you today, you're going to see exactly how this is possible. Now, as we talk about timing, let's talk about our founder. This is Harlan Stonecipher. Now, Mr. Stonecipher is no longer with us today, but not only pictured here on the screen is Mr. Stonecipher, but also a tragic car accident that he was in. Now, he did not perish in this car accident. As a matter of fact, he survived it. And in his autobiography, he talks about this crash and the way his life changed because of it. See, Mr. Stonecipher was a full-time teacher in rural Oklahoma, and on a part-time basis to earn extra income, he also sold life insurance. And one day, while he was traveling down a highway in rural Oklahoma, a woman went through an intersection, didn't stop at the stop sign, and hit him and nearly killed him. Now, Mr. Stonecipher was in the hospital, clinging to life. Now, the best part about the story, I'm going to tell in a second, but let me tell you something that's all too true and real in these types of stories. Mr. Stonecipher was sued by the lady who hit him. Even though he wasn't at fault, even though the highway patrol gave her all the tickets, she sued Mr. Stonecipher and he had to liquidate his life savings to defend that lawsuit. Now, in his autobiography, he talks about that reckoning period in his life. He said, I had life insurance had I not survived the crash. I had car insurance to replace the car. I had health insurance for the time I was in the hospital. But the one thing I didn't have was any kind of protection in place when a frivolous lawsuit reared its head. And so when Mr. Stonecipher went looking for a solution that he felt that he must have just obviously missed in the marketplace, he realized that that solution didn't actually exist. And Mr. Stonecipher did what so few people would do. He went about to change the world. And that accident and that realization that there was no protection in place when that happens became the company and the headquarters you see pictured on your screen today. Established in 1972, 51 years ago today, our company now protects 4.4 million people in the United States and Canada. And we have a vision to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that we feel on Mr. Stonecipher's vision for our company that every human deserves. And while you have maybe never seen this photo of this home office in rural Ada, Oklahoma before, you may have never seen the letters on that top of that building, PPLSI, before. I want you to know that we've been written up at Forbes, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, and Bloomberg. As a matter of fact, USA Today said it sounds like health insurance before it became $1 trillion industry. And so to help you understand what it is that we do, I just want to talk to you about this one thing that makes what we do so special. It's called disruptive innovation. And disruptive innovation just sounds real fancy, but here's all it is. You see it on your screen. And so you take something that already exists, which is different than creating something new. You take something that already exists and you make it simpler, easier, and more affordable. And just to help you, I've got a couple examples. As you can see, remember shopping at the mall. You've shopped at the mall. Most of you are of an age where you remember wanting a product and then crisscrossing your town looking for the right price, the right size, the right color, right? But we don't do that today. We use Amazon on our own cell phone. We tap a few buttons. Sometimes we just take a picture of the item we want to replace. And the point is that through Amazon, $1 trillion business today, what do? We get that item delivered to our doorstep 48 hours later, 24 hours later. As a matter of fact, in some communities in the United States and Canada, the same day. Amazon didn't invent retail. They just made it simpler, easier, and more affordable. Same thing with Spotify and music, right? And we could talk about the same examples about Uber, how they transitioned the transportation industry from cabs to what we have today. You could talk about Airbnb, how they transitioned the hotel industry, and so many other examples. Well, what about the justice system? What about what happened to Mr. Stonecipher? This is our Legal Shield mobile app. This is our flagship product. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story as I tell the story of this great company. But as you see on your screen, for $29.95 a month, a family gets access to this mobile app. Now, I'm here to talk to you about the opportunity. But remember, I said you got to have a company that stood the test of time, 51 years in business, millions of customers. You have to have a product that solves a real problem. So let me talk to you about this product for a second. Let's pretend for a moment that I come into your office, you're my attorney. And instead of your average hourly rate of hundreds of dollars an hour, let's say just as an average $300 an hour, that's pretty typical in America, that's your hourly rate. And I come to you and I say, listen, I don't want to pay your hourly rate. I would like for you to instead quote me one price per month. I want to stroke you one check a month, and I want you to take care of all my legal needs at this one price point. When I'm done, I'm going to ask you what that price is. And I want you to imagine how much more than $29.95 a month it is. Well, here's what I want you to do for me, my attorney. I want you to give me legal advice on an unlimited number of matters. You know what that means? I don't want to ask my cousin or Google it every time I have a question. I don't want to bury my head in the sand and go it alone. I want a real attorney that's a real expert in the area of law that I really need help in to answer that question. I want you to review every document before I sign it. I don't want to click agree on a screen or sign a piece of paper ever again that my attorney didn't review first to make sure that it was okay. because every document put in front of me was prepared by somebody else's attorney for their best interest, and it's placed in front of me, and I'm supposed to understand what it says and then sign it, hoping that I'm not signing my life away or doing something that's going to put me in peril later. So I want you to review everything before I sign it. It could be a gym membership, a cell phone contract, maybe I'm renting an apartment, whatever it is. The stakes are high, the stakes are low. I want you to review it first. I also want you to write letters and make phone calls on my behalf when I'm being treated unfairly. Now I'm going to take a little pause here. I'm not going to take a lot of time because I love to tell stories. But I want you to know that I got this membership that I'm describing to you today. I got this at 19 years old. A gentleman came to the store where I delivered furniture for a living. It was my lunch break. He came in, he said, I want to show you something. I said, yes. He showed this to me. He did a presentation, not unlike what I'm doing for you right now as an example. And I remember saying at 19 years old, if this guy says a price I can afford, I am getting this. Now, I didn't have a fancy mobile app back then. You got a laminated plastic card, not unlike a Blockbuster video card. But stay with me here. I want to tell you a quick story. I signed up for this plan. Less than 2 weeks later, I was moving. And my landlord told me that I couldn't have my security deposit back. Now, I hadn't broken a lease. I didn't damage the property. He just felt that he didn't have to return my deposit. The problem with that, besides the fact that it wasn't fair, was that if he kept my deposit, I couldn't afford to move to the new apartment. I needed that money. Some of you have been there. I needed that money. That $500 was all the money in the world to me. So remember, I talked about this personal legal advice where you could just call and talk to the attorneys and find out what your rights are. So I remembered that and I called and they said, Mr. Tanner, we will take it from here. This is what they said. They said, we'll take it from here. And they overnighted a letter to my landlord. And they faxed a copy of it to me at work so I could see it as well. It looked pretty impressive. But here's the point. Here's what you want to know about the story. The moment he opened that letter from my law firm, he called me at work and he said, Jim, come and get this check. I don't want any problems from your attorneys. And it was in that moment. See, I always say, because I'm here to talk to you about the opportunity, I always say there's two moments. There's the moment you sign up and the moment you understand what you signed up for. And at 19 years old, I have never in my life, listen carefully to me, at 19 years old, I have never in my life been pushed around in this American economy. I've never had to say, let me speak to your supervisor. I've never wondered what my rights were. I've never wondered who I should call or if it was fair because of this membership. Now, let me get back to my example. Remember what this exercise I'm doing with you. You're my attorney. What would you have to charge me to send those letters? What would you have to charge me if I wanted you to every year do my will, my living will, my healthcare power of attorney, my financial power of attorney, not just once. By the way, 80% of Americans never get it done. 20% bother to do it. They usually do it once in their lives. The problem with that 20%, by the way, is that every year the laws change. And also all the time your life changes, right? Every time you buy a car, sell a car, buy a house, sell a house, get married, get divorced, start a new job, retire, whatever it is in the middle, all those life events mean you need a new will. And most people never get their will done in the first place. And the handful of people that do never get it updated. Well, I want you to do my will. I want you updated every year at no additional cost. I want you to take care of traffic tickets. Whether I get that ticket down the street from my house going to the grocery store, or I get it all the way across the country, I want you to go to traffic court. I want you to sit in there and wait. I want you to speak to the judge. I want you to use your legal expertise to do your best to do something about that ticket, because I'm not going to flip over a ticket ever again, sign it and admit guilt to a crime, and then watch my insurance rates go up, not just for a year, but for year after year after year after year. I'm not going to do that because of Legal Shield. So I want you to take care of that for me. I want you to be there if I'm named in a civil suit. I want you to be there if the IRS comes calling with a tax audit. I want you to be there in an emergency. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 366 on a leap year. I want you to be there if I'm being arrested, questioned, detained, or any member of my family. If I've got kids that are the good kid in the wrong place at the wrong time, I want you to be there, because when stuff happens in my family, I'm not waiting until your office opens the next morning. I want to be able to touch a button and wake you up so that you can handle it. I want you to virtually be in the car when my kid is getting pulled over at a traffic stop at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's the power I want. I also want you to take care of my family. I want you to do uncontested divorce and adoptions and separations and name changes. I want you to cover all of this, and I want you to do it for a price that I can afford. Now, if I said that to you, would you come up with a price of $29.95 a month? And the answer is obviously, of course not. As a matter of fact, we used to do this exercise in the room in live events. And I once in Vermont had an attorney in the room say, Jim, I would never quote you a price for that. You know, some people say hundreds of dollars, thousands, tens of thousands a month. This attorney said, I wouldn't give you a price at any price because you would bankrupt my law firm. I have no idea how much you would use me. And I just want you to understand the power of what Legal Shield is. Because you might also be thinking, well, you know, what kind of attorneys do I get for $1 a day? And the reality is, most of you already figured this out. It isn't your $1 a day or my $1 a day. It's the combined buying power of millions of customers. As a matter of fact, when you touch that button and you interact with your law firm, in most cases, you are that law firm's biggest client. So it isn't just about the price, it's also about the accountability and the responsiveness and the professionalism of attorneys that we demand because of the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that are paid to those law firms to be responsive when you touch the buttons on that mobile app. Now, that is our flagship product. Who can have this membership on their phone? The member, their spouse or domestic partner, their never married dependent children under 26, dependent children under the age of 18 for who the member is the legal guardian, and any physically or mentally disabled children living at home. And we have two, I keep saying flagship, but there's really two products that we're known for. Some of you have heard of us, some of you own this product, like I did. When I got started, I had been a card-carrying member of Legal Shield for a decade. When I saw the whole story, I'm sharing with you the whole story here over the next handful of minutes. But there's Legal Shield, and then there's also the other side of these two bookends called ID Shield. And ID Shield does exactly what you already think something called ID Shield does. It monitors what matters, because when I got started in this business, identity theft sounded like science fiction, but today, identity theft is pervasive in our economy. And by the way, just in case some of you don't understand the nuance of this, I know most of you do, but just for those that don't, your credit score is not your identity. Some of you have a credit score that you quite frankly don't want to see, and you're happy to have somebody take. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about your name, your brand, who you are in the community. And so first of all, you have to have great monitoring of that. And this mobile app does that. It'll give you your credit score, of course. It'll also monitor your social, your passport, your driver's license information, your medical information, all that stuff. It'll look through the dark web to see if your information is being traded. It'll alert you when you have a problem. It also gives you the tools for social media reputation management, meaning if you or members of your family are posting things on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and others that isn't helpful to you and your brand in the marketplace, that you'll be alerted to that so that you can take proactive action. But the truth is, you are already bombarded every day with companies suggesting to you that they can help you in this space. I know that, but there really is only one number one, and it's ID Shield. You want to know why? The difference isn't monitoring. Monitoring is important. Having the power of knowing what's going on is important. I would never discount that. But what happens when you're a victim? This is when all those other companies that are yelling from the top of their lungs about what they're going to do for you, all of a sudden get very quiet. Because only ID Shield can offer real, true, comprehensive restoration. Here's what that means. Not a call center, not somebody on the other end of a website, not someone on a chat line, but a real licensed private investigator steps in on your behalf when you become a victim. And they do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity to its pre-theft status. That's peace of mind. And that's why 35,000 companies offer Legal Shield and ID Shield as an employee benefit to their employees, where our individual associates go to companies and enroll the employees, and it comes out of their paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, because those companies want their employees to have this peace of mind of Legal Shield and ID Shield in their lives. And that's what comprehensive restoration does. And you get this as an individual for $19.95 a month, or for your whole family for $34.95 a month. And similar to the Legal Shield, the family plan covers the member's spouse or domestic partner, and up to 10 dependent children under the age of 18. And also it provides consultation and restoration services for dependent children between 18 and 26. Now I'm almost out of time, but I want to talk about the opportunity. But when I show you products, services in the marketplace that solve a real problem for real people, I'm talking about me. Like, I remember the difference. I felt taller knowing that I had this advocacy and this voice that was backing me up. As a matter of fact, I told you the story about having that letter sent and getting my $500 security deposit back. But the second time I used my plan was in traffic court. I'd gotten tickets for moving violations, and the attorneys went to traffic court for me. And you know what they did? The judge said, "Who has an attorney here?" And I raised my hand, and we went first. You know why? Not because the judge respected my time, but because he respected the attorney's time. We went first. It was over in minutes. I didn't owe anything except a few court fees. Nothing on my record. I mean, this is the power. I'm not saying that that's going to happen every time. It's not a situation where we create products for bad people to do worse things. But when good people are interacting in the economy as it is today, isn't it great to have the peace of mind to know that you and your family, you and your business, you and your employees don't have to worry? And as an opportunity, I just want to show you member perks, because as I said, I'm running out of time. When you have 4 million plus and growing every day customers, the biggest brands on planet Earth want to do business with those customers. So here's what happens. We have a program called Member Perks, where these companies, and this is clothing, this is leisure, this is travel, this is fitness, and everything you can imagine, movie theaters, amusement parks, cell phone companies, places you're already spending money, want to offer you perks, and they call this Member Perks. In my household, our investment in Legal Shield and ID Shield on a monthly basis is fully offset, plus, by the savings we realize in Member Perks. Meaning that even if we never use Legal Shield and we never use ID Shield, we are saving money every month just by being involved in the program. And Member Perks makes that possible. So when you can take a no-brainer opportunity and make it a double no-brainer, now you got a winner. And that's what Member Perks does. And since I'm out of time, I want to talk about the money, because that's what some of you are here to hear, because some of you want to earn some additional income. You want to refill your retirement accounts. You want to catch up on your plans. You want to change the life. Some of you promised yourself something different on December 31st, and now it's July, and you're saying, how am I going to keep these promises to myself? I thought my life was going to be different. I thought this was going to be a transformation year for me. I thought things were going to be going in a new direction, and you haven't been there yet, but you're here today. So I showed you Legal Shield and ID Shield. I'm going to show you our compensation plan. So as a brand new associate, when you share the good news that Legal Shield and ID Shield exists, and someone goes to your website and signs up for these plans, and they can do it right on your website. Every one of us gets a website when we get started. You earn $70 when somebody signs up for the Legal Shield and ID Shield family plans. We call that the 6490 plan. That's powerful, because that's more income than what the person signed up to pay. You know what that means? Because we call it a 1-year advance commission. That means that you are funded on day one. You don't have to go to the bank and create a business plan and beg for money. And you don't have to go to angel investors and give away part of your business. You are funded on day one in this business. And that's just where it starts. As a senior associate, protecting a few families, you get promoted to the next level. That's $90 every time somebody signs up for the services through your recommendation. And you know, when I delivered furniture, and I worked at the mall, somebody else decided when I got a promotion. But in this company, the most refreshing thing that ever happened in my life was joining this company and finally being in charge of when I got a promotion. Didn't matter about politics, didn't matter who'd been there the longest. All that mattered was that I was serious about my business. I followed a simple, proven system, and I got to get promoted. Let me just give you a couple other examples, because I don't have a lot of time. And by the way, I just want to say this. Do that first step, what we call fast start qualifying. Do it in your first 20 days or less and earn a $100 bonus for getting started. Now, a business you can start for $49, not $49,000, not $4,900, not even $490. but a $49 one-time setup fee to set up your websites and get you started in the business allows you to be in profit from just about the very beginning. Isn't that exciting? And you can earn incredible money. But let's say you're an executive director and you go out there and you market some memberships. I think this is a great example because you qualify for executive director monthly, and you earn $370 for every membership you sign up, again, on that $64.90 plan. Let's say you sign up 5 a month. You're earning $1,850 a month. That's a nice part-time income. But if you do that weekly instead of monthly, you're earning $96,200 per year. And remember I said before that you could create leverage, right? So you can build a leverage income as well. And when you create leverage, you have the opportunity, just like an insurance broker or a real estate broker, you have the ability to create leverage. So I'm a new associate on your team and I make a sale and you're my executive director. You earn $300 when I make that sale. Now, if I do that 5 times in a month, you're earning over $1,000 in override income. What if you had 5 of me on your team? What if you had 10 of me? I hope now you're seeing the potential of building this business. Now, I think what we do is important and serious, noble work. Bringing equal access to justice to every member of every community, protecting individuals and families and employees and those business owners and the families of the employees of those businesses. But also we love to have fun. And as a matter of fact, we have a program called Performance Club where we earn cash bonuses every month and we get to go on trips all over the world. And what do you have to do to qualify? Well, starting by protecting 2 to 4 families a month qualifies you for our Performance Club program, which pays a cash bonus up to $500 a month. That's an additional $6,000 a year. And just on July 1st, so today's the 3rd, so just in the last couple of days, our company announced our next trip, which is going to be to Jamaica. Now, when I break today, and we're going to take a 5-minute break in a moment, and I'm going to do a getting started training for everybody that's getting signed up today. I'm going to share with you some photos of the trips around the world that my family has taken, all over the world, including the same resort in Jamaica, because we went there in 2018. Well, we are going back, and I am over the moon to share that with you, and you get to go there with us as well. So I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to catch my breath. And we're about to hear from one of my business partners so she can share her story. This is Miss Sonora Danzler in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Sonora, take it away.
Hey, everyone. And thank you so much, Mr. Tanner, for allowing me to share. So just briefly about myself, I came from corporate America working about 70, 80 hours per week. And I'm sure a lot of you can definitely relate to that. And probably some of you are still relating to that. But I was missing everything that was important to me. My husband, kids, family, faith, fitness, finances, all the important things. And then I saw this opportunity and I said, you know what? I could actually do this in my spare time and it could actually fit into my super busy schedule. So fast forward to today. I work the business part-time. I follow the amazing system that we have here. I stay plugged in. I'm currently working with small business owners, their employees, their families, and I'm also building a team coast to coast around the US. So what's next for me? You probably want to know. Well, of course, you're just going to have to follow me and also on social media, but I'm going to continue to build my business coast to coast, build my team. But what's the most important thing to me is being able to make a difference in all the lives that I touch, because there are so many people out there that need this membership, so many people that are looking for this opportunity, and I just can't wait to get out there and continue to let them know about it. Back to you, Mr. Tanner, and thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Sonora, thank you very much. It's so much fun to watch people succeed in this business and to continue to grow their business. And here's how we kind of got started today, right? We talked about areas to evaluate the company. Let me just recap this. You've got this incredible company, not here today and gone tomorrow, but 51 years in business. A company that Harlan Stonecipher started on his kitchen table, that he took to the NASDAQ, to the American Stock Exchange, to the New York Stock Exchange, And then finally, through an acquisition by MidOcean Partners for $650 million, we became a private company. And today, with our private equity partners, we're worth $2 billion. That's a company that you can count on. Is there a need in the marketplace? Ask yourself this question. Do people feel pushed around? Do they feel like they have a voice or not? The truth is that we have services that today speak to the heart of the American experience, and they're priced within reach of the people that need them the most. What about compensation? Well, with 1 year advance commission, meaning that you're funded on day one, with us getting paid daily, 7 days a week, meaning you have cash flow every day. We don't get paid on the 1st or the 15th or the 3rd blue moon. Every single day that there's a commissionable event, we get compensated through direct deposit into our checking accounts. That creates cash flow. And what about that legacy income that I talked about? The residual income, the ability for you to build a book of business. Well, you have that here as well, because you get paid for the lifetime of every membership on the books. Every happy member that keeps their membership pays out to you every month into the future with no cap on that. And what about the timing? Well, there's never been a better time than right now to get started in this business, because we are in a position where, with 35,000 companies offering our services as a voluntary employee benefit, 4.4 million members loving their membership and voluntarily renewing it every single month, we have proven the market. And as we go from 4.4 million to 45 million to 90 million and beyond, we need you to help us tell that story. You can start part-time, work from anywhere. This is a willable book of business. You create residual income for the lifetime of every membership. We have fast start training classes to help you launch your business. Some of you have been in webinars like this before, where somebody said they're going to help you, and all you really got was maybe some brochures and a pep talk. Go get them, Tiger. But here, that's not what happens. We're going to teach you this business from the ground up with our fast start class, ongoing weekly training, and we're going to align you with personal coaches and mentors in a business that you can launch for only $49. Now, that's a powerful opportunity. And as I started with a bold promise that you were going to be able to see a way to change everything about your finances going into the future, that's exactly what we do with this business. So here's the steps to getting started. What you're going to do is get back to the person that invited you today. And if they're not in the same room with you, they're going to text you their website link. This process takes about 3 minutes. You're going to click on the Business Builder bundle. It's going to allow you to enroll in the memberships, get Legal Shield and ID Shield to protect you and your family, so that you know what we're so excited about. So you know what it feels like to get your will done, to have your questions answered, to have advocates responding to your needs whenever you need them. You're also going to be able to become an associate, again, right now for only $49, which, by the way, is below the administrative cost of setting you up as an associate. This is a special one-time event that we're doing where you can get started for only $49, below the cost of setting up your website, setting up your direct deposit, setting you up as an associate in the system. Why? Because we believe the time has come for every community to have equal access to equal justice. And we'd like for you to help us realize that mission. And step 3, come back here. We're going to do a getting started training in 5 minutes. We're not going to turn off the Zoom. We're going to leave it running. There'll be a countdown you'll see on the screen. Just come back. If you have to disconnect to go sign up, that's fine. Just log back into the Zoom. Join me here in 5 minutes, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to launch this business. Listen, I won't brag about me, except for this one thing. I know exactly how to help people get started in this business the right way and right away. So 5 minutes from now, after you get signed up, come back here, and I'm going to talk to you exactly about what you need to do so that you can launch your business the right way. Get back to the person that invited you. They'll text you their website link, or they'll walk you through it over the phone, whichever works for you, and then come back here, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Thank you very much. All right, welcome back, everybody. We got a few seconds as people are logging back in. Great to see you here. I'm going to bring this chat up. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, good to see you. All right, we're going to get started with the Getting Started training. Congratulations to all of you that just got started in the business. Welcome to Legal Shield. This is an exciting time. And I'm so excited to be able to be here with you as a voice that can help you talk about getting started. Because one of the things, I'll just share this real quick, this anecdote as we're logging people back in, is that when I got started in this business 20 years ago, all of the tools were physical. So it was exciting when I got started. But when I got started, I mean, I literally filled out a piece of paper and then I mailed it to the home office with a check. And then I had to wait for my materials to come back. And obviously there's a delay in that. But isn't it so exciting that today you can make the choice to start a business and then 5 minutes later, get started in that business. That means that as you're helping people get started in your team, they can get started right away as well. So there's no delay. There's nothing that's slowing down the process. And that's exciting. So I want to acknowledge that as we get started. I've got 15 minutes or less here with you today as we talk about getting started. But I want to start with this thought right here. You are in the right place at the right time. You know, you probably have been told your entire life, like I was, that it's impossible to be in the right place at the right time. I remember hearing that, like when I got started, thinking I have found the right place at the right time, and people tell me, no, that's impossible. That's a pipe dream, that can't happen. But I had done it. You have done it. Today, more than 700 people are ring earners in our company. I'm gonna tell you what that means here in a second. And 300 of them are Millionaire Club members as well. So let's talk about what these words mean, because this is going to be a great part of your vocabulary so that you understand you're joining the right company at the right time. Let's talk about ring earners first. So our company has 12 ring levels. These are recognition levels in our company. If you earn in a 12-month period, in any rolling 12 months, doesn't have to be January to December, but in any 12 months, $50,000. If you earn $50,000, if the company puts $50,000 in your checking account, you become a $50,000 ring earner. We have a ring for $100,000 in a 12-month period. We have a ring for $150,000 in a 12-month period. We have a ring for $200,000 in a 12-month period, and on. And it goes up in $100,000 increments from there, with the 12th ring being the $1 million ring for $1 million in a 12-month period. Most important thing you should take away from that is that we have associates in this business that have earned every one of those rings. So this is really critically important. You don't want to have to be pioneering something today, because you have this path that has been paved by the pioneers that have come before you. So we have $50,000 ring earners, we have $500,000 ring earners, we have $1 million ring earners, and that's powerful. And you can be the next as we continue to tell these stories. Let's talk about Millionaires Club. 300 Millionaire Club members. To become a Millionaire Club member is very simple to explain. That means that the company has put $1 million in your checking account in your lifetime as an associate. So that means that you've earned at least $1 million in real income from this company. Now, some of our 300 Millionaire Club members, and by the way, ring earners, that number goes up every day. Millionaire Club members goes up almost every day. These numbers are always changing. These are just round numbers for you. But Millionaire Club member, here's what's happening there. In that 300, that number, let's peel it back. Some of those Millionaire Club members have earned $5 million. Some of them have earned $10 million in their careers. Some of them have earned $15 million. Some of them have earned $20 million in their careers. They're Millionaire Club members. They've earned at least $1 million, but they've earned $20 million. So we keep counting this as it happens. And some of our folks here in this company have earned $40 million from their incredible Legal Shield business. So I just want you to know what's happening around you. You know why? Because when success is happening around you, that means success can happen to you. Here's another thing that I think is really important to learn. Let me just change the slide real quick. Let's see. Here's a great another number for you to understand. 30,000. There's 30,000 associates right now that are getting a check from this company in monthly residual income. What that means, and I have only got 12 more minutes with you. What that means is that they have helped a few people get a membership. They have helped a few dozen people get a membership, maybe a few hundred people, maybe a few thousand, maybe thousands and thousands of people have gotten this membership. And they're earning monthly residual income checks because of that. That is incredibly powerful. The first membership that I signed up when I was brand new 19 plus years ago is still on the books today. Now you heard me in the presentation, I used to deliver furniture for a living. I worked for 1 hour and I got paid for 1 hour. And that did not get me ahead financially in America. It did not create wealth. A job is a great place to start. It's not the best place usually to end up. But because of this business, I was able to place a membership one time, which today is just signing someone up on your website. Back then you used to have to fill out a form and mail it in, which was a little bit more work. But somebody gets a membership one time. You share this information with them one time, and you get paid every month for as long as they keep their membership. That's what residual income does, and that is powerful. This is Darnell Self. I've got 10 more minutes with you, so let me get going. This is Mr. Darnell Self. He's the Executive Vice President of our company and the Network and Business Development Division. Here's his quote. Everyone has a day one, just like you. Every one of those 700 ring earners, every one of those 300 Millionaire Club members, every one of those 30,000 associates receiving residual income started exactly where you're starting right now. That is something to celebrate. And so I want to get you started in this business the right way, because I think you'd agree that doing what the people who succeeded that came before you, if you do what they did, you should have a reasonable expectation to get what they got, right? Do what they did, get what they got. This is what I remember thinking when I got started. This doesn't have to be easy. I remember saying this to my mentors. I don't need this to be easy. I just need it to be possible. And for me, possible was those 2 jobs that I worked and commuted, 2 jobs, 80 hours a week, they paid me combined $400 a week. And I just said, it's just gotta be, is it possible that I could take this business and replace that income? Is it possible? It doesn't have to be easy, but is it possible that I could become my own boss, work from home, work from anywhere, call my own shots, never ask anybody if I can go to the bathroom, never ask anybody if I can have time off, never ask anybody if I can work more hours, never ask anybody if I can eat a sandwich. Is it possible? And they said, Jim, it is possible, but you have to follow the system. So here we are. This is our system, and it starts with onboarding. And for you, I've got it out here on the screen. There's a QR code, if that's your thing. Someone will put into the chat this website address as well as pplsifirststep.com. This is our onboarding site. Now you can go off and try to build this business however you can come up with a system. Like you can invent your own system if you want to, but it's a 51.5-year-old company and we have a system. And our system has created incredible results. As a matter of fact, the system is the reason that people are winning. See, I had no education. I had no background. I wasn't a salesperson. I wasn't a business owner. I didn't go to college. And I'm just one example, but I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be the one teaching this presentation to you, teaching you how to launch your business, if it required some other special things. So some of you that are really well educated, great sales professionals, that you've got it all, you know, you got all the context. I just want you to trust me. Listen, you've come this far with me. I got 8 more minutes with you. Trust me, I can get you started if you'll be coachable and follow the right path. So you go to pplsifirststep.com. It's available in English, Spanish, and French, Canadian French. You know what that means? There's a reason I post that here. You can build a diverse organization around you. So whatever language you prefer, go and take the classes in that language. But that's not really the whole story. The whole story is maybe you only speak English. You can have people in your team that only speak Spanish. You can have people that speak only French. Isn't that great? We also have American Sign Language available for all of our trainings as well. That means you can have people that only use American Sign Language. They can be in your team and then they can win in this business and help you to have a successful team. So I'm going to just give you a quick snapshot of what's inside of the First Step training. You're going to see in the first video, well, I should say this, the first video is going to be a welcome from Mr. Self. Listen carefully. He's going to tell you important information. Don't skip that. But then the second video is going to be from April Hurst. She's a ring earner, $200,000 ring earner, as a matter of fact. And Miss Hurst is going to teach you how to make a list of the people most likely to seize on this membership and or opportunity right away. We want you to get some wins right away, because we know, and I've been here a long time, we know that if we can show you a path to winning, then you will see this business at a different level, right? We call it your belief check. We want to get you paid and promoted. So that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to teach you how to make your list, and you'll see in the screenshot that the video is less than 2 minutes, 1 minute, 58 seconds. That's April Hurst. Then Dave and Liz LeCue, also $200,000 ring earners and Millionaire Club members, are going to show you some scripts that you can use to communicate this opportunity and membership to the people on your list. This is super simple. The problem, the challenge, I only have 6 more minutes with you. The challenge with something that's super simple is that people get in their heads and they start looking for what they think is missing, because we have refined down a system to simple, which took 51 years. It took 51 years to get it this simple. And then when people join our business, then they want to add things to it that we already took out of it because we have 51 years of experience, right? So it is simple. There's nothing missing. I can assure you of that. Don't add anything to it. So you're going to hear how to make the list. You're going to hear how to send the scripts. This is Don Thompson. Don Thompson is the president of our network division. He's going to walk you through how to register for our Fast Start class. So our onboarding process has got 2 phases. First step, which is the videos I'm showing you. So what's first step? Well, these are pre-recorded videos that you can access 24/7, 365. You don't need a login. You don't need to know how to do anything. If you know how to watch a video online, you can watch these videos. So that you're in no way slowed down. The second half is Fast Start class. Fast Start class is taught by a real teacher. It's a live classroom experience. Now, before COVID, we had these all over the country in business centers, in classrooms, in hotels. Since COVID, we've been doing this on Zoom, and it works better. So you're going to be able to take this class on Zoom with a real trainer. You're going to ask questions. You're going to have other students in the class with you. It's going to be a fun environment. Well, Don Thompson is going to teach you a little bit about what to expect and how to actually register for that class. Your job is to follow the instructions and register for the class. This is Daniel Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, in addition to being a $50,000 ring earner, also oversees our Spanish language system, what we call Legal Shield in Espanol. So Daniel Gonzalez is going to walk you through downloading your mobile apps. We have 2 customer-facing apps. You as a new customer, you need these apps, right? There's a Legal Shield and an ID Shield app for you as a customer so that you can access the services you just signed up for. I want you to use your services, get your will done, ask legal questions, check your credit score, check your identity information, ask your fraud protection specialist questions. Use your plan so you have stories about how you use your plans. I only have 3 more minutes with you. But also, he's going to walk you through how to download the apps that run your business. One is LS Engage. That is how we look at reports and see what's going on in our business. The other one is how we build our business. That's called Prospect. Prospect allows you to communicate to the marketplace what our services, what our company, what our membership does in an incredible way. So make sure that you go through this video with Daniel Gonzalez, and he's going to walk you through downloading these apps, okay? So I'm going to walk through a couple other thoughts here for you because I've talked to you about what's in the system. And as we close up, I just want to tell you, don't overthink this. Follow the system. Be coachable. I've got 3 more minutes with you. This is all you need to know from me. This is Bill Sharon. Some of you, a lot of folks here, you just signed up today. You've never heard this name before, but you're going to hear it all the time. Bill Sharon was my Pee-wee wrestling coach. When I joined this business, he was the first person at the top of my list. I showed him what we do. He joined me in the business. I didn't know what to do. Listen to me. So many people come to me and they say, Jim, I have to learn all this before I can start building a team. Not correct. That's not correct. You are not the teacher. You're just the person sharing information. I didn't know a thing about this business when I joined, and I showed it to Bill Sharon. And Bill Sharon said, yes, this makes sense. This is a no-brainer. I'm in. And today, this is a picture of us at an event. We're just having some fun at lunch at an event. So far, 7,730 people have gotten this services, Legal Shield and ID Shield, because of Bill Sharon. As a matter of fact, he has one person on his team that has signed up over 2,000 people himself. Don't take anybody off your list. This is my mom. My mom's no longer with us, but I love talking about my mom. We made this a family business. Now, she had Alzheimer's early. She was 55 years old. It was a terrible tragedy. But because she had this business that I introduced to her and that she got started in the business, she had income that took care of her in those days where she desperately needed income. As a matter of fact, it paid off her house and it put her in a great financial position. My grandfather, when he was alive, loved his Legal Shield membership. And I said, Grandpa, do you want to join me in the business? He was retired. He had a pension from the Army. He was in the National Guard. He had retired from that. He was retired as a postmaster in his hometown. He had lived his dream life, but he didn't want to be done talking with other people, interacting in the community. He loved his membership. He loved sharing it with people. He joined me in the business and he had an absolute blast in the business. All I'm saying is you have no idea who the folks are that could join you in this business. Now, I was just talking about when we did this slide, because it's the top of the hour, and I've said this before, that I would share some thoughts about some of the trips that I went on, but we have this Performance Club program because we do this important work and we want you to do this important work. And now you know how to do it. We know how to get started. We're going to get you started. As soon as I'm done talking, you can go through those training videos. But we want you to join our Performance Club program. All you have to do to qualify is protect a few families every month consistently. You'll earn up to a $500 a month bonus. Our trip to Jamaica was announced 2 days ago. You could come with us to Jamaica. We'll fill you in on all the details in the Fast Start class. But this is my daughter, Olive. See, I grew up in Rutland, Vermont. I never went anywhere. Honestly, I saw the world through television and magazines. I didn't have a passport. I'd never been on an airplane. But my daughter, who's 8 now, has had a completely different life. This is her on our first Performance Club trip, which, by the way, is all expenses paid and no expenses spared. This is Moon Palace in Cancun. So has she been on an airplane? You bet. Does she have a passport? You know she does. This is her second birthday, Atlantis in the Bahamas, just having an absolute blast. This is Jamaica with Timber Mosley. This is the same resort we went to in 2018, and we're going to be going back there this year, and you can come with us, which is so exciting. So that's her with her friend Timber. This is a shot from Cabo San Lucas looking out of our hotel room balcony. Every balcony had a hot tub on it. Every balcony had this incredible view of the ocean. And this is not a beach. And the reason I'm all bundled up is because this is Iceland, where we rode snowmobiles across a glacier. So if you're adventurous, sometimes we have big adventures as well. And here's Olive in Maui, Hawaii. This is where we went last year. 2 weeks from now, we're heading out to Mexico on the next trip. But isn't this incredible? Like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to show my daughter the world. I want to show you the world if you've never seen it. And this is my daughter and all the other Legal Shield kids growing up together. This is in Maui at one of the events that they had for us. We want you to walk the beaches of the world with us. And I know I'm over the time, but I just want you to know as we wrap up, real people are winning in this business. And your story is the next one that we could be telling. So let's get your business started right away. And I'll leave it on this screen for you. This is pplsifirststep.com. And the training, again, is available in English, Spanish, and French. But congratulations to all of you that got started tonight. Welcome to Legal Shield. The work of our founders is important work, bringing equal access to equal justice to every community, to every part of the US and Canada is what we do. And we're excited to be doing it with you. So go to pplsifirststep.com, go through those training videos and get started and get registered for a Fast Start class. And we'll see you back here. We do this every Monday night. We're excited to have you with us, and we'll see you back here next Monday as well. And again, for those of you getting started today, congratulations and welcome to Legal Shield.